Hello everyone. This is Dr. Vidya Gavande, lecturer, Department of Pharmacy, Government Polytechnic Amravati. Hereby I am going to discuss regarding some specific environmental awareness video, which is nothing but our week 4 video of International FDP on Environment and Sustainability, OE4BW. Here I am focusing on some pharmaceutical aspects regarding carbon emission through life cycle assessment perspective. Now, here in this slide, week 1 video details and week 2 video details I have given. YouTube links for both I have given, number of likes, number of views, and week 1 content in week 1 video was on green pharmacy practice and green community pharmacy. Week 2 video was some particular body, that is International Pharmaceutical Federation, has given different rules, regulations, some laws which are for to be followed by government for pharmacist for environmental safety and awareness. Now video outcomes are: after completion of these videos, student will be able to evaluate concept of sustainability and carbon footprint, compare life cycle assessment and methods of estimation of carbon emission, compare carbon emissions of different make of instruments. Now here in this slide there are certain list of standards are given. In this there is one important body is there which is framing different laws, regulations for recommendations for environmental safety and regulation. So this is International Pharmaceutical Federation, which is called as FIP, has given certain laws related to environment risk assessment practice for registration approval process, development of national programs on environmental risk and safety, implement green chemistry practices in all research and manufacturing compounding processes, adapt environmentally friendly procedures in procurement and distribution processes. Another one is Board of Pharmacy Practice, which promote green pharmacy practice. Now another very much important body is there giving the rules, regulations and their purpose. So in our today's video, we are focusing on life cycle assessment, and this life cycle assessment approaches given by these bodies: ISO 1440 promote international standards of life cycle assessment, promote life cycle assessment; ISO 14044 promote environmental product declarations, EPD, which is also called as Environment Declarations 3; ISO 14025 framework of life cycle assessment for pharmaceutical products. All these are very much important for us today's topic, life cycle assessment. Now what is sustainability in pharmacy? Our topic of FDP is environment and sustainability. So previous two videos I have focused on which are those points to be considered, which are to be rules, regulations, awareness creating in public for environmental safety. And now in today's video we are going to discuss regarding sustainability in pharmacy. Sustainable pharmacy is a total new issue and approach. It addresses environmental, economical, and social aspects of pharmacy. It is associated with reducing the impact of operations on environment and planetary resources. The design of pharmaceuticals and practices surrounding the life cycle of their manufacture and uses are central to minimize their impacts on environment and increase the sustainability. Means all over the different steps in manufacturing of dosage forms, these are all contributing to directly or indirectly to carbon emissions. And these excessive carbon emissions, excessive value of carbon footprint may contributing to harm to environment. And therefore it is essential to make certain measures for avoiding or reducing, rather we can say that, the particular carbon emission, carbon footprint value, and thereby it helps in sustainability, environmental sustainability. Now measures for acquiring sustainability are monitoring energy use, reduce energy uses, reduce water uses, switch to green energy, recycle and reduce packaging. Now we have to go for carbon footprint of pharmaceutical products in life cycle perspective, which is our main point in this video. Now, what is the meaning of carbon footprint? Carbon footprint is a measure of carbon dioxide emissions that affect global warming in a product. Calculating and reporting greenhouse gas emissions for now greenhouse gas emission means greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, methane. So, calculating and reporting greenhouse gas emissions for pharmaceutical products. You have to use greenhouse gas sector guidance for pharmaceutical products and collect active pharmaceutical ingredient manufacturing data and thereby calculate greenhouse gases using guiding principles. The calculation of carbon footprint in product is based on life cycle assessment and global warming potential. The life cycle of product including material, manufacture, assembly, transportation, use and end of life treatment. Comprehensively consider all life cycle stages of product and quantify its impact on environment is called as life cycle assessment. So, we understood the concept of life cycle assessment. Now we proceed further. Here is schematic illustration of life cycle of pharmaceutical product. Any pharmaceutical product, any finished dosage form like tablet, capsule, serum, syrup, etc. So before going for formulation of these pharmaceutical products, first of all it is essential to synthesize the active pharmaceutical ingredient which is called as raw material. Means suppose we administer paracetamol tablet, here paracetamol is the active pharmaceutical ingredient and by combining with other excipients it get converted into paracetamol tablet or capsule, whatever it may be. Now concentrate on this schematic illustration. Production of raw materials to API production process, which is called as active pharmaceutical ingredient production process, and production of packing material. Again, it goes to formulation process by different stages. Then after formulation, it gets filled into containers and packaging. Then after packaging, it goes to distribution and thereby delivery. After delivery, it goes to customer and used by customer, and then end of life of that particular pharmaceutical product. Next is the most life cycle based methods and tools are based on international standards for life cycle assessment, that is ISO 14040 and ISO 14044. The standards describe the framework for performing life cycle assessment and requirements for different phases in the work, how to define goal and scope, how to collect and compile environmental data for studied system, which is also referred as inventory, how perform environmental impact assessment, as well as how to interpret the results. Now, each stage of life cycle of any product or event is definitely linked to other secondary stages, and each of which may further be linked to others. So, approaches to perform life cycle assessment for greenhouse gas estimations are bottom up or process analysis, top down or input output analysis. Bottom up or process analysis is also called as PA. Top down or input output analysis is also called as IO. Now, top-down approaches makes use of economic input-output model extended to accept and perform operations on environmental variables for calculations of carbon footprint. Inputs and outputs are represented in the form of matrix, with inputs required to produce a unit product represented in respective row. The inputs and output matrix can be represented in the form of following equations: x equal to I plus a multiplied by a plus a multiplied by a multiplied by a plus and so on. Again y equal to I minus a whole in bracket minus 1y, where I is identity matrix and y is vector of desired outputs. AAR first, second, third and so on supply chains of produce product. So here these are certain theoretical aspects regarding life cycle assessment, which I have described. Now, going towards some mathematical calculations regarding environmental risks related to active pharmaceutical ingredients and carbon footprint in life cycle perspective. So, we have to now go for pharmaceutical emissions, which is nothing but related with carbon footprint in life cycle perspective. Our today's topic is nothing but life cycle assessment, and therefore all the small concepts, all the models, theoretical aspects, and mathematical calculations, these are regarding towards carbon footprint and life cycle assessment perspective. So concentrate. First is, here we have to go for PEC local calculation. PEC local calculation is nothing but local predicted environment calculation, local predicted concentration calculation, local environment predicted concentration calculation is nothing but having related with life cycle perspective and carbon emissions, thereby pharmaceutical emissions. So first point in that is nothing but emission of product active pharmaceutical ingredient, which is nothing but total emission of active pharmaceutical ingredient to wastewater per year. Now, calculate the amount of active pharmaceutical ingredient which reaches primary receiving water bodies via wastewater kg per year after production of active pharmaceutical ingredient, formulation and any other relevant sources of API emissions. Here, every term I have given certain value. This is nothing but all the terms, and I have given certain values to them in order to proceed for the particular calculations. Before going for calculations, we have to understand what is the concept of that particular variable. So we have studied regarding emission of API, that is active pharmaceutical ingredient. Now next is removal rate. Removal rate, which is also called as R. If the wastewater is treated before entering the recipient and active pharmaceutical ingredient is removed in the process, suppose. So it is possible to use removal rate percent in the calculation of PEC local, that is predicted environment concentration local. So here removal rate I have taken the value of 5%. These all values I have taken for actually for giving the examples how to calculate this PEC local, which is nothing but one of the important calculation in life cycle assessment of product. Then wastewater volume, which is also called as V. Report the wastewater volume through which active pharmaceutical ingredient is released to environment for all relevant sites, and it is given in liter per year. Then dilute, here I have taken value 400 multiplied by 10 raised to 6 liter per year. Then dilution factor. Describe the localization of water body that receives the treated wastewater from active pharmaceutical ingredient production and thereby formulation of dosage form like tablet and any other relevant sites of active pharmaceutical ingredient emissions. So here description should preferably be the region, any city, any name of recipient, or at least national level or country level. And then you have to use that dilution factor for calculation. Here I have taken the value 36. Now, local predicted environment concentration is calculated according to following formula. PEC local, which is given expressed in microgram per liter, equal to A multiplied by 10 raised to 9 multiplied by in bracket 100 minus R upon V multiplied by D multiplied by 100. And I have put all the above values in that and obtained the PEC local value of 0.5 microgram per liter. Now, we can go for emission factors. Now, what are emission factors? Standard emission factors are used to convert activity to emissions. Most emissions factor incorporate non-carbon dioxide gases, and hence units are given in terms of carbon dioxide equivalent emissions. Emission factors are provided in terms of CO2 equivalent emissions. The emission of different greenhouse gases are calculated separately and converted to CO2 equivalent on the basis of their global warming potential. For example, 1 unit of methane is equivalent to 25 units of carbon dioxide equivalent. 1 unit of nitrous oxide is equivalent to 298 units of carbon dioxide. Emissions for consumption oblique combustion of fuel are then calculated based on simple formula. Which is those formula? Emissions in tons carbon dioxide equivalent per unit equal to quantity of energy in energy unit multiplied by emission factor. Now we know that there are online availability of carbon footprint calculators. By means of using these calculators, we can estimate the carbon footprint value for ourselves, for any event, for any place, for any office, for business, for household. So this carbon footprint is nothing but all the activities which directly or indirectly produces the carbon dioxide emissions. Collectively those carbon dioxide emissions, by putting in the above formula which I have said, it gives certain value. Carbon footprint is measure of carbon dioxide emissions that affect global warming in a product. The calculation of carbon footprint is product is based on life cycle assessment, which we have studied before, and global warming potential. For calculation of carbon footprint, one has to follow the above formula, which I have earlier slide we have seen that. Suppose small example of this carbon footprint calculation we take. NHS England carbon footprinting study is reported for pharmaceutical instrument, and in that they have taken these following values. They have calculated emissions in tons carbon dioxide equivalent per unit equal to, they have taken the energy value of 4.812, which is energy consumption value, and multiplied by emission factor for that particular study in England is taken 0.27 to obtain the carbon footprint value for 1.129 tons. So this emissions intensity varied greatly within pharmaceutical sector. Means for pharmaceutical instruments like tablet machines, like another instruments, this for different make, it is of after market survey of utilization of customers, these pharmaceutical instruments, for these all pharmaceutical instruments like tablet punching machine or tablet machine, for different makes, it is observed that certain particular make of instruments, they produce lesser emission intensity, they show lesser emission intensity than another make, and therefore it can be concluded that by seeing all this reported survey, it can be concluded that suppose we use particular make of that instrument, may it may be possible or it may help in reducing carbon emissions. Like emission intensity varied greatly within pharmaceutical sector. For example, emission intensity of Eli Lilly was 5.5 times greater than Roche in 2015. Procter and Gamble CO2 emissions were also 5 times greater than Johnson and Johnson. So, by seeing, we got an idea how different stages of manufacturing processes of pharmaceutical products contribute directly or indirectly in carbon footprint. So measures should be taken to modify the steps by using either green chemistry steps for synthesis, or by reducing consumptions by using those instruments of particular make if possible, in order to experience the less emission intensity of carbon, or by creating awareness in people, in society, regarding reduction of their energy uses, reduction of fuel uses, and unnecessary uses of articles of electricity, and thus everyone should contribute to reduce carbon footprint, and thereby everyone will help in maintenance of environmental sustainability successfully. These are certain references which I have used. Thank you very much. I hope you will understood the small concepts, theoretical aspects regarding life cycle assessment, and thereby carbon footprint and carbon emissions. Thank you very much.